Okay, neurodata refiners, hello. Today is the big day. We're going to try stimulating Kim's brain according to the patterns we recorded when she was here before her surgery. But before we do that, we want to make sure to not melt her brain, and we have never done this kind of stimulation with anyone yet. So we're going to try it first on fruit. We have a watermelon that is all wired up for stimulation. And if that does not start smoke, and if it does not melt, and if alarm bells do not go off, then we're going to try Kim in just a few moments. Here's Kim. Nothing is on Kim's head. Here's a watermelon. Lots of electrodes are on the watermelon. We're going to try and stimulate the watermelon first before Kim's head so that we don't blow up Kim. If it starts smoking, we won't do it at all. This is our protocol. We have 4 frequency bands we are going to stimulate. We're going to be doing alpha, and then or theta, then alpha, then beta, then gamma, and we'll see whether different kinds of frequencies create different kinds of moods for Kim, so she will once again be rating her mood the entire time. Hey guys, is it possible we could see the impedances on the watermelon? All right, so this is record. Oh, cancel that. Okay, so this is the activity from the watermelon, and the variation you're seeing is the watermelon thinking, or environmental occurrences. So for example, if I tap the table the watermelon is on, it looks like things are happening. They're actually... All right, it's going. The watermelon is not wincing. Yep. Current is now increasing. The watermelon is still not wincing. I see no smoke. And we should be just about up to current. And here's our theta band stimulation. It's going. And nothing's bubbling. Looks just like it did. So what you're seeing here is the weights we're using for stimulation. We z-scored everything, so the areas which were more active than the mean are red, the areas which were less active than the mean in a given frequency band are blue, and the intensity is how intense it'll be stimulated. So for beta, we're going to be stimulating the back of your head a whole bunch, and actually here around your eyes a bit. If that's too much, you may see some phosphenes with the beta.
That was fun the first time.
Yeah. So let's look at the gamma array now, and we'll see what that's going to be. And so for gamma, this is mostly going to be the sides of the head. The whole middle of the head is going to be anti-stimulated effectively. And again, you're going to get a bunch in the eyes. So I think it's going to be a bright light show at 40 hertz. That'll be very rave. Here we are. Kim's got the EEG on her head, and what we're doing now is we're making sure the impedances are sufficiently low. That is, the resistance on her head, everything has to be either blue or yellow, or blue or green, to be low enough that it won't burn her when we do stimulation. So anything that's yellow, we are just injecting a little bit of salt water into those electrodes and moving them around such that the contact on her head is a little better.
Yeah, and it doesn't hurt at all. It feels kind of like a head massage.
Because actually it is a head massage. You'll also see the watermelon has been freed from its EEG prison, and it is free to go BE. We're getting just the references in, but you can see everything is green and blue, which means the contacts are good enough that we feel we're probably not going to do any damage if we turn on. You can see here, this is Kim's brain activity. Kim, if you grit your teeth once. Good, so we're actually getting teeth gritting. If you blink a couple of times, 2, 3, getting nice blink potentials. You can see that, right? So if you blink a couple of times, yep. You can see that. So that's all we need. If you shut your eyes, yeah, you get some alpha over here as your visual cortex shuts off. So it's all the things. We're getting good brain readings. So my thought is, you don't need to be happy by reading exactly the words the whole time. It's try and get back to that state and maintain it. What we want is for people to be able to maintain a positive savoring state basically on command for a sustained period. Yep. And we're going to see what helps to do that.
Okay.
Seem reasonable?
Yeah, sounds good.
And we're going to be looking at natural variation in your mood based on the EEG. So that's why I don't have, stop rating periods built in.
Okay.
Okay?
Sounds good.
All right. So we have here Amanda, who has programmed the task whereby Kim will be rating her mood. And Sarah has programmed all of the stimulation. And so we've got two people who will be running everything in our control space here. Kim, who will be trying to get back to the mood she once had before things befell her during surgery. We will shut this off, and do you want to turn that light on? So a little mood lighting there, very dramatic. And why don't we get started?
Yep, let's do it.
All right.
Turn off this computer.
Yeah, maybe turn off that screen.
Yeah, we don't want me to see
And
what's happening.
yeah, I'm gonna say let's keep the door open for now.
Okay, yeah,
If that's
sounds
okay.
good.
Usually we
Yep.
wouldn't.
Let's leave it.
Yep.
Turn off the screen, just like this next stage activation. Which like
Oh, interesting.
yeah. Oh,
That's kind of funny.
breaks to pieces. Okay.
All right, well, it's okay. We'll put it back on. Okay, well, all right. She's back. I don't know why that happened. Are you okay to proceed to instructions and just leave it
Yep.
there for a
We're
moment?
going to proceed to instructions. All right, Kim, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Great. So, why am I not hearing her through this?
Volume's turned down.
Okay. So just look at the fixation cross. When you notice variation in your mood, feel free to rate your mood with the mouse. This does not have to be done continuously. It's for whenever you happen to notice a change in your mood, okay?
Okay.
All right. So we're
And
going
so-
to what?
Is this, I'm doing the positive memories as soon as it starts? Or
Yeah, as soon as it starts, it's going to be all positive memories.
All right.
And are you ready, Sarah?
I think so.
Amanda, are you ready?
Ready?
All right, folks, we are almost ready for blast off. 3, 2, 1, go.
So, my favorite memory from the previous session is belly rubs. And Logan is one of my cats. I have 3 cats. And he just has the best time. He flips down on his back. He puts his little paws up in the air, and I rub his belly.
So we can see
and
Kim's mood is
purrs
getting more
so
positive,
loudly. He's so
and
happy.
that is
And we
even
have
with
this
no
routine
stimulation.
Where every
Now we're going to
morning,
watch as the
when I get
stimulation
up, this
starts.
is
It's
what we
just
do.
ramping up
He
now.
comes
We've
and he
got
sees me.
20 seconds of ramp up
I give
time.
him belly rubs, and we just spend
And
time together.
we're gonna get
and
first
it's just
theta
a
stimulation.
A really nice way to start my day.
And you see, as soon as
and
the
then,
theta started, her mood went up.
Another positive memory from
And her mood's going up even
before was,
farther
I had
with the
these
stimulation.
awful bug bites
This is
all over
amazing.
my legs. And I finally broke down and bought calamine lotion.
So we are stimulating here.
and hydrocortisone
And
cream.
now
and
it's
I
going
would
to
just
end
put that, rub it on my legs
in
as soon as I woke up
3,
in the morning.
2,
and
1.
the relief from doing that
And
was
so big
just
climactic relief
amazing.
from
And
the
just the
bug bites,
difference
but you see
between
tiny
the
little bit, her
itchiness
mood's going down, it's
of
inching down,
the,
and it's down.
the bug bites.
Wow. So even though she's got great relief from bug bites,
was
all right,
super
so
nice, and I really
we're going to now
enjoyed
start
that.
stimulating with alpha. Going to ramp
Also,
up for 20
another
seconds.
memory I had from the last time
And
was
the
driving
alpha
home at
pattern
night,
here is
which
going to be
actually a
primarily
stressful
in the back of the
experience for
head.
me. But
And her
I
mood's gone
learned
down.
ways to adapt to it so that I find it less
But now the
stressful.
stimulation is going to
Even though
happen.
I'm a little old,
And
it makes me feel a
stimulation's
little old.
happening.
I wear
And her mood's
glasses
going
when I
down, if
drive,
anything.
And,
So theta brought her mood
I
up.
focus on
but
the white
alpha
lines
really
on
is
the
not
side of
doing
the road.
that.
I kind of keep my eyes there,
And it's
that
stimulating.
way
That's
I,
interesting.
feel safe as I'm
So
driving
alpha was
home.
part of the picture, but it wasn't the thing driving her mood.
And from that particular event, it was a paint
See,
party.
and
It was
look,
my
her mood's
friend's
gone down to
birthday,
neutral.
And we got together and we painted some ceramics in the glow-in-the-dark ceramics.
All right.
And I did a little
During
Death
rest,
Star.
what's going to happen?
And it looked really cool in the black light, but then when you turned the lights on, it looked very Easter eggy. Because the
All
paints
right,
were
so
very
now
bright,
we're going to
once
try
you actually
beta. The
had
higher
the,
frequencies is where we really saw a lot of
lights on.
action
They
with
did
Kim
not
last
look that bright in
time.
the dark.
So
Another
we're gonna
positive
ramp
memory
up.
I had from before was a goodbye party that I went to.
So she's going to
for,
talk about the
a
goodbye
friend of
party.
mine who's moving out
And the
of country.
stimulation's going to start in
And so it was
3,
bittersweet.
2,
But it
1,
was really
watching
nice
her ratings,
to
and it's
see,
inching up and going up
to see
immediately.
people that I haven't seen in a long time.
That's
There
great.
are some people there that have been over 5 years.
Everybody's very
since I've
excited.
seen. And it was really nice to catch up and to reconnect and just to spend time with all of my friends. And Dave, who the party was for, he had a whole bunch of books he was giving away that he didn't want to take with him because they're
All right.
downsizing. And so.
So now, and as soon as it stopped, mood's going down
Wrote me a really
and
nice
down.
note in the book that was very touching.
I'm convinced there's something going
I
on
don't
here,
miss it, but it
folks.
was really
Yeah.
nice. He
If
walked us
nothing
out to
else,
our
tingles
car
help.
and told
Right.
us how much we mean to him.
But we did see a big difference
really
between
nice
gamma
experience.
or beta
Really
and
good party.
alpha.
Time
So now we're
that we
ramping
went
up
to
for
and
gamma.
spending time with friends.
This is going to be our last
And
stimulus block
yeah, so
before we start over
other
again.
Positive memories that
In
I
3,
had experiences with.
2,
Generally centered around
1.
my cats. I love my cats. They are, they bring
And here we
me
go
so
again.
much joy.
And mood's inching up.
I have one cat, Danny, and
Oh,
she
interesting.
likes
It
to give
really
me
was
what
the
I call
beta
kitten
that
kisses.
got her mood
And
highest.
so she will jump on my chest when
Yeah,
I'm
theta had a
sleeping,
lot of change in beta,
and
but
she'll
gamma's not
lightly
doing it today.
paw at my face
I mean, it's
until I
not going
wake up.
down like it did
And then
before
she'll just spend
with
some
alpha.
time sitting on my chest, licking my face. And it's
And,
very
you know,
calming,
from
it's very
me, the biggest thing is
relaxing,
she
and
hasn't
that's actually
screamed.
the memory that I use the most often when we're doing
Kind of loaded
feedback
again,
experiments.
James.
is
Okay,
just
so we were
sharing
just
my
resting.
time with Danny.
Yeah.
And that's fine. We're going to call that a rest period.
There we go.
And so now we're gonna-
Recently, she had a cone. She had to wear a cone
I
on
did
her
say
head.
3 trans, but
'cause she
I guess
was
it's not doing
scratching
that today.
her
Figure that out
head
later.
and bleed, and
Figure it out later.
She was
Yep.
so affectionate when she had that cone on. It was
Yeah.
interesting.
But-
it was just you expect she'd be
We're now
angry
resting
or
again.
upset or disturbed, but she just wanted love. All she wanted was people to.
And we're
scratch
going
her
to see if it
head.
replicates.
The
Now remember what we
entire
got last
when
time
she had
was
that cone, I'd
that
never
theta
seen her
and
want
alpha
affection
were
so much,
interesting,
and even after
or
the
theta
cone
and beta
got
were
taken off,
interesting.
she's really been
So now
just,
we're ramping up our theta
much more
stimulation.
affectionate with everyone. She hasn't bitten my husband in
And
weeks, which
positivity
is really nice
is
for
going
him.
up a bit. I
She's
think.
turning into a little bit of an old.
Or is
lady,
it just staying there?
So that was fun.
Okay.
And
So now we
other
should be
positive
into
memories
theta
from,
stimulation.
my previous line. Oh, I
But
went to,
we are not getting a whole
we
lot of brain
had
reactivity.
a really
But it
cool
doesn't look like it's stimulating.
Yeah, wait, what?
Party,
Why is it doing it different
party
than the
that
last one? This is the same
I ended up getting the
plan.
bug bites at, but it was the first
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
in
the-
spring,
all the
it
lights
was
are
the
off. Why
first
is that?
night
Yeah,
that
so
things were
what I would
it's
say-
frozen.
warm
Oh, no.
again after.
So
really,
we got
really
a
bitter
good
cold.
trial. We got a good set.
And we gathered around the fire.
But it's not stimulating.
and
Yeah.
we
And I would
had
say
homemade
this was
hot
all
dogs
not
and pizza,
stimulating.
over the
And
fire.
so we're
There's
getting
this little
effectively,
machine,
we got a good test.
looks like a little spatula almost.
And maybe
type
we
squishy
stop
thing.
it here
Just
and
put your
come back to the drawing board.
sandwich and grilled cheese in and you hand it to
Yeah,
the
you see,
fire and
it's
melts.
off.
Yeah, I don't know what this is about.
And so that was really nice, and it was a time for again
So,
to just
I would
relax
say-
and get together with my friends.
Yeah.
hang
Yeah,
out.
but then it doesn't seem.
But I'm not sure what the ramp is. It might be ramping on beta, it might be stimulating
Since
beta.
I
Like
am talking
something's
about my cat,
something's weird and different.
now she is
Yeah.
the
So-
first of the cats that I have.
I would say we call it and say we got a good bit of stimulation, and we let Kim talk about her experience.
I'll end the touch.
Yep.
And he's having to be at the office full time. Yeah.
Hey, Kim.
Hey.
So let's talk about how things went.
Yeah, so there were definitely times when like really the first one, the first time when I felt stimulation,
Yeah.
I felt peaceful, almost
Yeah.
euphoric.
So that was theta, and theta is trancy peaceful.
Yes.
It's relaxed, easy. It's not the high energy.
Yeah, no, I 100% felt that. And then when I did get the phosphines at the little rave, and I did feel a little bit more energetic during that time.
The next one was alpha, and your mood went down to neutral.
Oh, really?
Yeah, during the second stimulation.
Okay. Yeah, it was, I guess there was also the conflicting, like I was at a rave, but I was also trying to think of memories. So there was a little bit of distraction in there.
Okay, the third one was beta. And that your mood went way up.
Okay. So I honestly didn't feel, I couldn't tell that was on that time. So that was
I
having
love that.
effects on me without me even
Yeah,
knowing
and it was
that
as
something
soon
was
as it
on.
started stimulating your mood. That's when it went. That was the only time it was at very, very positive. Was during beta, and that's high attention, high cognition, like sort of easy to engage with the task that you're trying to engage with.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. And like I said, the first two I definitely felt, but the last two
Yeah.
I really didn't feel much on my head, at least.
Okay, and then the last one was gamma, and you stayed positive, but it didn't change much on that.
That's interesting.
And that was not ravey visuals either. Okay, so Sarah, my bet is that we're going to actually have to bump up the magnitude of stimulation on the strong electrodes for gamma and for beta and gamma. It's
Okay.
like, you know how it's easier sometimes to hear the lower frequencies than it is the very high frequency stuff?
Right, yeah, right.
It's kind of like that. It might be a little harder to feel that stuff.
Okay,
Okay?
okay.
So maybe we'll do some filtering and get just a few electrodes and bump them up real
Right.
high.
Yeah.
But seeing it really vary with theta and then really vary with beta, which you couldn't even feel,
Yeah.
tells me that's a real effect.
Yeah, something's happening. Something was definitely going
Yeah.
on. And that's really cool that the theta that the beta had such
Yeah.
a strong effect without me even noticing that it was something was going on my
Yeah.
head.
That's really, really cool. Okay. We stopped it a little bit early just because the sequence of stimulations we were hoping to get, it sort of got off a little bit. Like we didn't know exactly what it was doing, and I didn't want to do things to you that I wasn't exactly sure what it was
I
doing.
appreciate that.
Yeah. So we're going to work. We have the watermelon here, and I'm going to suggest I leave the watermelon here for a couple of days.
Sounds good.
Okay?
Yep.
All right. Anything else you want to do while we have the toys on, or we should be done with that?
I think we're good.
Okay. We have 15 minutes, so great. Well, neurodata refiners, you've seen it here first. This is really the first time we've ever done anything like this, and we've shown it can be done. We were able to stimulate Kim with a sequence that we recorded from her before her surgery, and you felt relaxed, and you kind of felt right back there in that moment.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We should let you know the surgery went fine.
Yeah, surgery was actually really easy. I had knee surgery 10 years ago, and that was miserable. And compared to the knee surgery, this was nothing.
Right.
It was really not that big of a deal. So
Yeah.
I probably don't need to be restored, but it's still
Yeah.
a good
Well,
exercise.
for me, the $4 question here is, suppose that you had come in today depressed or sad. Do you think this would have been a mood boost?
Actually, yes, because I didn't come in, I wouldn't say depressed, but I definitely had lower energy because of the weather. Today's
Yeah.
a really gray, rainy day. I didn't sleep particularly well, so I wasn't in a bad mood, but I wasn't really in a particularly good mood. But now I feel energized. Now I feel like, let's do this again. Let's go like run a mile.
Amazing. And-
I definitely feel more energized, which is great because I'm going out to dinner later. And so I was kind of dreading that, but now I'm looking forward to it.
Fantastic. Now, you have done a whole lot of fMRI amygdala neurofeedback. How does this compare to your experiences with amygdala neurofeedback directly? Having this just rather than having you try and raise a dial, having it just be
honestly
stimulating.
it's easier. It's a lot easier for me to get into the memories because I'm not also focused on trying to raise a bar or making something vibrate. So it takes out the dual attention task and lets me just focus on the memory, which I think is nice. And I think that a lot of people that's a comment that we get a lot of times for the neurofeedback experiment is that it's hard
too
to
effortful.
Yeah, there's a lot of effort involved, and this is just easy. It was the most effortful part was making sure that I had enough memories, but I had my nice little prompt here from last time with the memories that I used, so I could pull on those. But it was definitely a lot easier than neurofeedback.
Good. All right. And compared to last time, how is this time with the stimulation? Because we have last time where you didn't have stimulation trying to save her, and this time with stimulation.
So I would say it was so much, especially with the theta, it was just so much easier. I just felt zen, and like I could sit there and think about my cats for hours if you told me to.
That's amazing. I love that. All right, folks. Well, you heard it here first, and really this is first in humans, so we're so excited. And tune in next time. You can see this wherever you get your podcasts. And yeah, take care, folks.